everyone, you join me at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, some 200 miles east of Los Angeles. I'm back with Project Civic Si today to test out all the latest upgrades we've made to this car and see just how much faster this car can go. When Project Civic Si was last out at Chuckwalla, it looked a little bit different. The car was pretty much totally stock, with 215 section width Federal RSRR tires on the OEM wheels, the Coney shocks with stock springs, and the OEM TSX front brake upgrade. That was almost exactly 1 year ago. Now, the car has swapped out the TSX brakes for the Stoptech C43 BBK. Those OEM wheels have been swapped out for a 17x9 and 17x8 staggered wheel setup with 245 and 215 Nexen SUR4G tires on them. Additionally, I've added some Tein springs to pair with those Coney shocks to get the car lower and stiffer. The car still has totally stock power at this point, so let's see how much the lap times are going to drop simply from grip upgrades. The first session at Chuckwalla is always guaranteed to be a wild ride. The constant desert winds move the desert sand all over the track at night, so we're basically out there street sweeping for the whole first session. Also, the amount of traffic at this particular event was unreal. There were simply too many people in the advanced run group, and unfortunately, many of those people had fast cars and no talent. That left all of us in the low power cars, the Hondas, Miatas, and Toyota 86s. We'd basically be sitting on the rear bumpers of these big fast cars in the corners. They'd be totally oblivious and then power away in the straights, only to get caught up again by us in the very next corner. It was a shit show. But despite that, my laps were already faster than my previous personal best, a good sign of things to come. Alright, session 2. There's a bit less traffic now, a bit more grip in the pavement, and now I at least have some idea of where the grip is at today at Chuckwalla. So, let's see what we can get done out here. Unfortunately, I struggled to find clean, open track the rest of the day. Between the insanely high attendance rate, the weather picking up, and my front tires basically melting off, my lap time suffered tremendously. I mean, I was about 3 to 4 seconds a lap slower than I was in the second session. So instead, I ended up engaging in some good old-fashioned on-track dogfights. And isn't it awesome when your GoPro decides to not record any audio? Oh, I love it. In any case, this ended up being a wild day at Chuckwalla with a few lessons learned along the way. First up were lap times. Now, previously I ran a personal best of a 2:13.1 with the car in its mostly stock configuration. As it is now, I ran a new personal best of 2:09.7. That's a massive 3.4 second improvement over the stock car. However, that brings us to some lessons learned here. First up are those Nexen SUR4G tires. They need cool-down laps, which I didn't really do. Unfortunately, that means that after just 2 track days, the front tires on this car are done. I even flipped them after my first track day, so that means the outside edge was fresh and had maximum life and grip to offer. Even still, they are dead. The next thing is the suspension. Now, I mentioned this in my button willow video, but the suspension setup with Tein springs and Coney shocks is just a little bit too soft for serious track use. It's an awesome street car setup because it's very comfortable and compliant, but when push comes to shove, the spring rates are just way too soft for performance driving, especially with the big sticky tires up front. Definitely new tires and a new suspension setup are coming soon, along with a few other changes I have planned for the car. So that is it for this episode of Project Civic Si. Please stay tuned for the next one, where I continue to see just how far this humble Honda can really go. Thanks for watching.